Hi friends, this is Krish, the Urban Naxal. Friends, I am going to explain to you a wonderful order issued by MahaRERA to all the stakeholders. And in the stakeholders, more particularly, we have the builders. So this is an order to builders. It is not a suggestion, it is an order to builders to issue allotment letters in a particular way and to issue agreement proforma in a particular way as per model agreement. Friends, what has been happening is that builders take a lot of liberties when it comes to their power to forfeit your booking amount and even more, all kind of amounts that they collect from you. They collect it in the name of GST, they collect it in the name of stamp duty and registration, they collect it as legal charges, they may call it application money, they may call it expression of interest. So they collect money from you in a variety of ways, and then later they say we are going to forfeit that amount, and they say they are able to forfeit 10% or even more of the agreement value. This varies between builders, but you have a lot of builders saying that they will forfeit 10% of the entire value of your flat if you cancel or if you fail to pay strictly according to their schedule. So these are the kind of draconian actions that they threaten you with. MahaRERA has taken some very good initiatives to curb the powers of builders, to impose this kind of one-sided allotment letters and one-sided conditions on the flat buyer. This order, called Order number 31 of 2022, was issued on 1st July 2022. Earlier, there was an order on 6th June which was named Order number 30. Now, Order number 30 was essentially the same thing. It mandated that the proforma of allotment letter and agreement for sale must be in a particular way as per model, and it has to be given with certain terms and conditions, and it said explicitly that you cannot forfeit as per your own company policy or this kind of thing. You have to forfeit. If you forfeit, it is strictly according to MahaRERA's policy, and MahaRERA's policy is like this. MahaRERA's policy is, they have taken a policy direction in this order. They have said, after allotment letter, and that allotment letter is as per Order number 31 as per the proforma. After allotment letter is issued, if one wants to cancel, we will go into why one may want to cancel. We will go into the reasons later. But if one, that is flat buyer, wants to cancel, then if he cancels within 15 days of the issuance of allotment letter, the builder cannot forfeit even a single paisa, regardless of whether the money has been collected in the name of EOI or GST or stamp duty and registration or token or booking amount or anything else. That money has to be refunded 100% back to the flat buyer if the flat buyer intimates him. Obviously it should be a formal intimation which he can prove. Therefore it should be an email, though maybe even a WhatsApp or something may do, but I will advise everybody to please email them saying cancel. Now, is this just part of the proforma? No, it is part of the direction itself. It is part of the order. What they are saying is, within 15 days of issuance of the allotment letter, if the letter requesting to cancel the booking is received, then the amount to be deducted by the builder is nil. If it is received between 16 to 30 days from issuance of the allotment letter, then the amount to be deducted is 1% of the cost of the said unit, which means if it is a unit costing 50 lakh rupees, then 50,000 is the maximum that they can deduct if you have intimated them up to 30 days from issuance of the allotment letter, between 16 and 30 days. Between 31 and 60 days, that is in the second month, if you intimate them with a letter saying cancel my booking, 1.5% of the cost of the said unit. So for a flat costing 50 lakhs, it would be 75,000 only. After 61 days from issuance of the allotment letter, if you cancel, then 2% of the cost of the said unit only. And there is an asterisk. It is very clear. It says the amount deducted shall not exceed the amount mentioned in the table above. And this proforma is compulsory. This proforma is not optional. It is not given as an optional thing to builders. Builders are supposed to implement this proforma only, this allotment letter. Further it says, table enumerated in clause 9. Okay, so if in no event, it says very clearly, in no event is the amount to be forfeited, no event the amount to be forfeited shall exceed the amount mentioned in the above referred table. So all these threats of builders saying they want to forfeit 10% and all that, all of it flies out of the window. This lays down the law. Further, suppose you don't execute the agreement for sale. Now the agreement for sale proforma is to be given to you along with this allotment letter. It has to be sent to you. Suppose you read it and you feel you don't want to, for any reason whatsoever, you don't want to enter into the agreement for sale, then you cannot be forced and they will have to refund it to you, and they can forfeit no more than 2% of the cost of the said unit. Now mind well, 2% is also a concession to the builders. I am aware of this. 2%, enabling them to forfeit 2% is a concession. I am not happy, but I can see where that is coming from. It is a reasonable stand. It is a well-reasoned stand by MahaRERA, and we should welcome it as flat buyers. Now, if the amount is not refunded, so the amount has to be refunded within 45 days by the builder. And if the amount is not refunded by the builder within 45 days, then the builder will have to pay you interest at the rate of SBI highest marginal cost of lending plus 2%. So approximately 10%. Builder will have to pay you 10% rate of interest on every passing week or month that he delays giving you back your money. Now this allotment letter, what are they saying? This allotment letter shall not be construed to limit your rights and interest upon execution and registration of the agreement for sale between ourselves and yourselves. Now this is the proforma. Ourselves means builder, yourselves means flat buyer. Cancellation of allotment of the said unit shall be covered by terms of thereafter. Thereafter means after the agreement, then cancellation of allotment will be covered by terms and conditions of the said registered documents. So this is prior to registered agreement. Now there is one more argument that builders have used quite often. They have said we will give you allotment letter only after you have paid us 9.9% or 10%. Wrong. Again, if you just read the allotment letter proforma, which is compulsory, this model allotment letter is compulsory as per MahaRERA. It should be uploaded along with the registration itself. The model agreement also, mind well, MahaRERA is now taking a step to curb the builder's arbitrariness in putting all kind of terms and conditions in the agreement. So what have they said? They said you will have to upload the agreement which shows what are the clauses which are not consonant, which are not in agreement with the model agreement of MahaRERA. There is a model agreement. It's a very good document. Most of the builders have all kind of one-sided clauses. They add all kind of things. It is not as per model agreement. So what RERA is saying is, you have to highlight what are the sections, what are the paragraphs which are not as per model agreement. Which means, in the case of many builders, they will just have to highlight the whole thing. But now they have to refer to model agreement. That is the important thing. They will have to refer to model agreement and see, okay, this is not as per model agreement, this other thing is not as per model agreement, and they will have to highlight it and they will have to show it to you, and you will be able to say, okay, this is not as per model agreement. Why? Well, it is because it is giving the builder an advantage and it is giving me, the flat buyer, a disadvantage. So you will have to apply your mind to all those things. What else does this allotment letter pro forma have? As I said, excellent features, and listen to this. It says, there is a note here, it shall be mandatory to issue allotment letter in this format whenever a sum not more than 10% of the cost of apartment building, as the case may be, is collected as deposit or advance. Not more than. So it can be less than, but not more than. You cannot collect more than 10%, and if you collect more than 10% and don't give the allotment letter, you are in breach of RERA. Now, after collecting 10%, you will issue an allotment letter. The builder will issue an allotment letter. Along with the allotment letter, he will send the pro forma of the registration to be signed, registered agreement to be signed. You should read that and very promptly react to it. See if it is in your interest to go forward in the deal with all the terms and conditions that are mentioned in the agreement, or whether you want to cancel the deal very promptly without any loss, or with loss of 1% or 2%, as the case may be. Now this allotment letter, there are many things that builders do where they play around with you, and all those things are being limited, or that play, the wiggle room that builders have is limited by this allotment letter pro forma. What does it say? Allotment of the said unit. Now the unit, it is giving you all the details of the unit in this one first paragraph. That unit may be a flat, then unit may be a plot. It is also giving you allotment of your garage. What is the kind of garage, or covered parking space, or open parking space, or stilt parking. Everything has to be mentioned, including the size of your parking space, including the size. Okay, all the specifics have to be mentioned, and including where it is being, so what happens is, builders normally don't write your parking and then they play around with you, and then they ask for extra money, they ask for cash, or they give you a very bad parking and then they make you buy better parkings from them. None of that can happen now, because allotment letter is very clear, saying is it open parking, is it stilt parking, where is it, car parking number, where is it, everything specified at the time of allotment letter itself. Then it's supposed to acknowledge the amount you have already paid, and it is supposed to tell you what amount you will pay when. Now if that is not agreeable to you, if you don't like and by the way, this total amount to be paid which is mentioned in this is within the 10%. So let us say builder has taken 1% token amount from you, then he says you are going to pay the remainder of this amount by this date, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So typically, when is this allotment letter to be issued? Typically, it has to be issued as per this proforma, as per the demands of this proforma. It has to be issued right after they take a token from you. Token could be 1%, token could be even less than 1% of the consideration value. They have to issue this, which says you will pay us this amount on such and such date or before such and such date, and so on. The total being not more than 10%. And if you fail to pay the balance, then clause 12 will be action against as per clause 12. So what is clause 12? Clause 12 is if you fail to pay the balance and if you fail to cancel promptly, then we will deduct 2% and we'll refund your amount. This is the only thing. Not 10%, not more than 10%, not anything called liquidated damages. Builders like to say that they have suffered a great loss because a flat buyer booked and all that. Bullshit. None of that. 2%, not a paisa more, can be refunded if you are extremely negligent. 2% can be forfeited, can be confiscated by the builder. If you, the flat buyer, you are extremely negligent, you don't intimate them in writing, you don't write an email to them saying we want to cancel promptly after getting the allotment letter, then you will lose 2%. All the rest of it will be refunded to you. So this part is mentioned clearly in the agreement. Then what else has to in the allotment letter? What else is there in the allotment letter? Whatever disclosures they have made has to be in the allotment letter. Website of MahaRERA, I think website of the builder also has to be there. Encumbrances, okay, they either confirm that it is free of all encumbrance. Sometimes what happens, a builder takes loans and then he conceals the fact that he has taken a loan and he has mortgaged his property to somebody, and then he takes your money, and when you realize that he has already mortgaged the land and even your flat has been mortgaged to some company, some financial institution, then you may say no, I want to cancel because I am not going to get a loan if it has already been mortgaged. How will I get a home loan? Then he says, I'm going to forfeit your money. So encumbrances have to be mentioned clearly. If there is no encumbrance, it has to be mentioned clearly. Then further payments towards consideration of value as well as garages and covered parkings shall be made in the manner. Now whatever amount, if he is charging for garage, has to be specified in the agreement for sale. It has to be specified. He cannot charge outside the agreement for sale. Then possession. The said unit along with the garage will be given to you on or before such and such date. Possession, subject to payment of consideration amount. Now why is this important? This is important because many a times the sales staff fools you, tells you they are giving you possession in 2025, when actually on RERA, if you read it, they will say 2028 December, which means 2029. So here they have to say clearly, the said unit with the garage, everything will be given to you on or before such and such date. They have to mention the date, which then gives you an opportunity to cancel in case the sales staff has deceived you, misinformed you. Interest payment, in case of delay in making any payments, you will be liable to pay interest at the rate which is SBI rate of interest, highest marginal cost plus 2%, which means around 10%. Now why is this important? Because otherwise builders make up all kind of rules. They will say we will charge you 18%. They will say we will charge you administrative charges for all the letters that we write to you asking for the payment. None of that bullshit. Plain and simple, 10% is what you will have to pay for delay in your payments. Okay? This also is something, it's a very clear line that has been drawn by RERA, and the absence of this line was being exploited by builders until now. So, beautiful order. Now, as I said, order number 30 of 6th June 2022 has been overwritten by order number 31. So, this is the latest order dated 1st July 2022. Then you shall make other payments, GST, stamp duty, registration as applicable, blah blah blah. So there is a lot of other things. Then execution and registration of agreement for sale. Agreement for sale has to be registered within 2 months from the date of allotment letter, and if not, then the builder will cancel your allotment and take away 2%. That much is very clear. Then validity of the allotment letter. It is not going to constrain you. The allotment letter shall not be construed to limit your rights and interest upon execution and registration of this thing. So what it means here is, you have certain rights, and if you have rights that are over and beyond this allotment letter, the allotment letter cannot be used to make you sign away your rights. Your rights exist. The rights are given by law. Even if you sign something wrong in the allotment letter, it will not constrain you. Now, this allotment letter pro forma, it is and the whole thing, there is a annexure A which consists of all the stage of what is the stage of completion at the time of issuing the allotment letter. So how much progress has been made in the project at the time of issuing the allotment letter, that is also there as an annexure A. All these are very, very useful, very, very important features of an allotment letter. Please do not accept an allotment letter from a builder after the date of 6th June, not even for 1st July, 6th June, which is not as per RERA pro forma. Please do not accept it. If builder tries to give it to you, if he tries to backdate it, they will write April 2022 or some such date, or they will just give you an allotment letter which is vague and not as per this pro forma. Please reject it and emphasize, tell them you comply with order number 31 and give me the allotment letter as per order number 31, otherwise cancel it. Please be firm on this. I am Krish the Urban Naxal, your friend. Jai Maharashtra, Jai Hind, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan.